after I left Vietnam, yes, I went back to become qualified on the Wessex anti-submarine helicopters, which only single engine, but it's huge compared to the Iroquois. Like a lot of people coming back from Vietnam, there were struggles. It wasn't just the university students protesting and the anti-war sort of stuff. I think many of the full-time servicemen going back to Australia, particularly in the early years, found the biggest problem was with the rest of the people you served with. And we came back to the Navy base at Nowra. Because I was pretty much the first of the Navy guys that had gone to Vietnam that had not been trained in the Wessex. The first group that went up with the US Army had all been trained in the Wessex. So I had to do a Wessex conversion. And I was treated as if I was a basic ab initio pilot. I was given an absolute full Wessex conversion as if I knew nothing apart from a basic helicopter conversion, even though I had spent a year on operations in Vietnam. And looking back now, I can see that there were senior Navy people, Navy pilots that were probably a little bit unhappy that this junior guy's come back from overseas and he's got ribbons on his chest and operations, and I've not done anything apart from become a senior grumpy old officer. And there was a lot of hassle just with the lack of acceptance and lack of understanding of what's happened in the last year in Vietnam. That got better over the years, but I think it's a fairly common thing for returnees from Vietnam to describe how it wasn't just outside the military that didn't accept you.
Yeah, that must be hard to take when it's coming from within the ranks.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You would think if anyone understood, they would.
Well, the problem was that they obviously did not understand that it wasn't just living, sleeping, flying. That there were things happening, and you're involved in real live people's situations. That at the end of the day, you could sometimes come back and the helicopter had an incredible smell that you can't forget, the smell of blood, other bodily fluids, where you'd been carrying injured people or killed people in the back of your aircraft. And those smells, those sights, very hard to put out of your memory.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't assisted by this problem of the others not really wanting to show compassion or care or interest so much. So those things did change eventually, but it initially was a huge problem. But I ended up, I was very keen to do this other Navy, the proper Navy role of anti-submarine flying from the aircraft carrier. Within a year of coming back from Vietnam, I was on board Melbourne, visiting Singapore and Manila and Japan, and all the things of travelling around the Pacific in particular in the Navy. They were exciting stuff. Working with other navies and doing the flying we did was very interesting. Then I became a flying instructor, and that provided again more interest in assisting young people through their transition to helicopter flying.